Jim Farley made his announcement that they're doing a bunch of stuff in Kentucky.
They're putting something like $2 billion. They're investing into that plant. But, this new technology that they're doing. They're completely reinventing the Ford assembly line, the way they're going to do things.
But the average American worker probably still feels that EVs are a scam.
He admit it. This is not a sure thing. This is a $2 million bet, but this is the direction that Ford Motor Company is going. And we'll take that platform that they've developed and we'll be able to make a whole range. There's a sort of animated part of that video that they launched that shows it changing shapes from a pickup truck to a minivan to an SUV.
Hi, I'm David with EV World News. We're talking about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. I'm back today on a Tuesday with our founder and chief editor, Bill Moore. How's it going today, Bill?
Hey, I got my walk in this morning. I'm feeling good.
So Jim Farley made his announcement that they're doing a bunch of stuff in Kentucky with one of the plants there, and they're going to convert it into smaller electric Ford pickup trucks.
Right.
Yeah. And so this is what we anticipated. I don't know. I haven't actually seen the whole video. I did listen to a little bit of it.
I watched most of it through. So
did you discuss the price point?
No, they typically won't do that until much closer to launch. And he was talking, I think he's saying sometime that at launch, if I remember, sometime in 27. Which quarter? I don't recall, but it'll be in 27. They're putting something like $2 billion. They're investing into that plant. And of course, they had Governor Beshear there, and they had Mrs. Beshear there, as well as various of their union representatives and things like that. What I was struck, though, with was that even though there's, this new technology that they're doing, they're completely reinventing the Ford assembly line, the way they're going to do things. This was all put in this, invented and worked on for the last 3 years in their skunk work down in, I think it's Long Beach, where they were located. The thing that was interesting was I was watching the crowd reaction, and it was pretty subdued. So I have a sense that there's a lot of those union laborers there that are just, I don't know if, because Farley says this is a $2 billion bet we're making. This is not a sure thing. I mean, admit it, this is not a sure thing. This is a $2 million bet, but this is the direction that Ford Motor Company is going. And we'll take that platform that they've developed and we'll be able to make a whole range. There's a sort of animated part of that video that they launched that shows it changing shapes from a pickup truck to a minivan to an SUV. I don't recall there being a sedan in there, but obviously it's very possible.
But the average American worker is not excited about electric vehicles. I don't care if you're in the car manufacturing business or what business, but your average blue collar worker probably still feels that EVs are a scam.
Yep.
It's just the nature of the news cycle here in the United States and, other things that people are fed. I couldn't tell you how often when I'm talking to some of my friends, about stuff that and a lot of them don't even know I do this show. Okay. And they'll start talking some nonsense. And I'm like, look, that's not even remotely true. That there's no truth to that at all. And I'm amazed at how much ignorance there is in this space. But there's a lot of it. Our industry kind of contributes to some of it, though. For instance, if there's EV charging somewhere, there's no signs that say exit here, EV charging, because people who drive EVs, they're using apps and the cars are telling them where the things are at. They don't need to sign on the exit. Their car is already telling them to pull off here. Okay. So it's a different experience. Okay. But the people who don't drive EVs don't see that.
Don't get reminded. Yeah. Why would I put an EV charging app on my phone? I don't have an EV.
Right. So, but there's nothing on the sign on the road that says there's an EV charger. So it must be stupid. There's obviously no EV chargers on the freeway. Okay. Because no exit ever says there's EV charging. And so I think that some of that is a little bit self-defeating.
Yep, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird experience, but people think like this.
Hey, I've been trying for 27 years, my friend, but
No, I get it. I get it. But you know what I'm saying? So there's this pushback. So that crowd may be subdued because they may not see themselves. May see themselves as the Ford F-150 gas-powered truck,
that makes the money.
which makes the money for Ford. And the idea of a smaller, mid-size electric pickup. So right now, Ford delivers the Maverick four-door mid-size pickup truck, stripped down. It's about 28 grand. Okay, they can be found for that price. Even here in Omaha, they can be found for that price. Okay, it's not a big stretch for them to make an electric truck for less than that. So it's going to be interesting to see where Ford can get competitive. But they already realize they need, Jim Farley's been to China. He's seen how the Chinese manufacture.
And he stressed that our competition for the future of the automobile, the future Ford Motor Company, our competition is China. He stressed that right at the very beginning of his opening remarks. This is a gamble, it's a gamble we have to win.
We knew that the Chinese would be the major player for us globally. Companies like BYD, new startups from around the world. Big technology has their ambition in the auto space. They're all coming for us, legacy automotive companies.
And the interesting sort of, the first kind of remark that he made that he sort of expected the crowd to applaud to, there was a hesitant pause, and then he starts clapping, and then the rest of the group start to half-heartedly begin to clap, and I'm thinking, wow, this is not going well.
Yeah, well, that is not, when he's calling it a Model T moment, and I agree. I mean, it's going to be huge for Ford when they bring this to market, right? And I fully believe that Ford can bring this to market.
So we will know. We will know. They think the name of the pickup's going to be Ranchero. Is the speculation, because they used to have back, when I was a kid, they had the Ranchero, which was kind of a cross between a car and a pickup truck, right? That they're going to do. They renewed the trademark on Ranchero, so the speculation is that's what they're going to name the truck. The big Model T moment is the fact that they are, to make this happen, they are redesigning the assembly line. It is no longer a line. It is a tree, which is really interesting. A tree with three branches. And so the whole thing is basically going to be modularized. One part of the module will be on one tree or one branch, and then the other, pieces. And this all comes together. And what's interesting, they tried to stress to the workers there that it's going to require less physical strain on your part. First of all, we've eliminated, I think they said, a half mile of wiring in the car, which is wiring apparently is one of the big problems with cars today. And placing that wiring and attaching and so on that wire. So they have fixed that. The amount of twisting and turning and reaching into things has been dramatically reduced. And in the process, I think they said that they can cut the cost, the necessary labor input into this, which might explain why some of them are a little concerned, that they can cut that by about 40%. Which means that they can, build the car more efficiently. The goal here is to be competitive. The target is to be competitive with China.
Yeah, well, it's a. So there's two things. So when the workers see that, so if they need 40% less labor, do they need us? Well, Ford's hoping they can sell 40% more cars, right?
Right.
And so it all works out to be about the same. The clip you just saw was part of our live podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't miss out. Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on EV World News. We stream not just on YouTube, but also on Facebook and X, so you can catch us wherever you prefer. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share to help us grow. If you'd like to support our work, please consider becoming a YouTube member. It really helps us bring you the latest EV news and insights. I'll see you in the next one.